I never thought about cooking with it back in the day. I think I've learned a lot because people get with us and go, hey, we marinated some brisket and cooked it.
So many wonderful applications.
I love it in a ceviche, like a little.
I could talk. Oh, completely.
Marinate meats.
Marinate meats.
And I think for me, I never thought about cooking with it back in the day. I think I've learned a lot because people get with us and go, hey, we marinated some brisket and cooked it. Like, no kidding. Or we made shrimp we marinated some shrimp and made shrimp skewers or ceviche. People are making chili with it. And this is all people calling us and letting us know, or finding us on Instagram and letting us know what they're doing with it. So
I'm going to ask, is this gluten-free?
Yes.
It sure is. We didn't know that until Lee and Perrin's Worcestershire went gluten-free about a year ago. So eventually we'll get it on the label.
You can put the GF on there.
But that, again, is that's a 6-month label process that we have to go reapply for a new label, substantiating the fact that we are gluten-free, that we are all natural. This is our baby. This is our first one. We are planning a line extension that we're hoping to release next year. Hopefully in the earlier part of the year, but it's going to be called the Beach Buddy. We take our vodka and infuse it with hand-cut fresh pineapple, and then add in mango and orange to kind of round out the flavor profile of it. But it truly is a little beach cocktail. We like to think that we're a classic day drunk company. So, of course, the Bloody Buddy, and then the Beach Buddy. Everything we do will be the Buddy line of products, obviously because of Buddy. So we started February. A little over 2 years ago in February. So this upcoming February will be our 3rd year of doing business. Specs was the first big company that took us. We were at a big event called the TPSA, which is the Texas Package Store Association. There was a line at our booth. Mind you, we had a little 6-foot table with some cheeses and like Bloody Buddy. And there was a line.
We were on the shelves. We weren't even on the shelves.
We weren't even on a shelf. There was a line around Dolce Vita, all the way around this huge convention center to get to our Bloody Buddy. And I swear they were all in line for the Bloody Buddy. It was amazing. And
who was in that line is where the story.
Yeah, so we were. We're bartending like the old days of Roos Chris, and
we're both talking. And
yeah. Like he always does this when he wants me to pick my pace up. He's like, dude, we got to go. So we're really bartending, like handing out Bloody Buddies and kind of getting the old cocktail sweat going, you know. Anyway, so this guy walks up and he said, son. So that's one of the best Bloody Marys I've ever had. I want to put you in my stores. And I said, well, that's cool. What's your name? He said, I'm John Reedman. I said, well, pardon me, John Reedman, but what stores do you own? He said, I own Specs. We have 162 stores in Texas. And at that moment, I cried that moment too.
Yeah.
It was that moment of, wow, we're actually going to have a place now where we can sell the Bloody Buddy. It's no longer a pipe dream. It's no longer something we're thinking about doing. Yeah. It was a reality. And we didn't have a product on a shelf, and we had investors fund us to the tune of almost $500,000, and to them we'll be forever grateful. But they believed in us, and here we were, and John Reedman, of all people, said, Bloody Marys are my favorite cocktail, and you make one of the best Bloody Marys I've ever had. I want you on my shelves. It was just such a big moment for us in our company's history, and we definitely celebrated that moment, and we were very thankful to them. And now, of course, we're in over 900 liquor stores. The mistakes that we were making was where we thought it belonged, it really wasn't selling, and so we had to readjust, and we found out through a lot of hard work and a lot of pain that liquor stores were our bread and butter. That's what's going to pay our bills, and you can get it into all the on-premise accounts that you want and have Escondido and NRG Stadium and Horseshoe Bay and all those people behind you. But if people aren't going to the liquor store to buy it for home consumption, we weren't going to amount to much. So we put, with one of our former employees and a beloved friend of both of ours, Mark Kinate. He was a long-time rep for RNDC Republic. He was our distributor, and he put a massive focus. And bless his heart, he was out on the road most of last year getting us into as many liquor stores as he could, he and David Barton. And I mean, Buddy and I do a lot of that ourselves too, but I got to give credit to those guys for really going out there and busting it and getting us into all the liquor stores and creating personal relationships with the people that are paying our bills. At the end of the day, we don't want to be known as a product that just sits on your shelf. We want to be known as the people that come in and do a tasting and come in and look you in the eye, shake your hand, and those are the type of people that we want to do business with. And we've been blessed in that regard. I think, thus far.
Well, we're grateful to be where we're at, so we want the people that carry our product, that push it for us, to know that we're grateful. We're not just going to get so big to where we're going to forget about everybody.
That's important. That's important.
One of the things that we did, we worked a deal out with our distributor to make sure that the little guy got the same pricing as the big guy. So we didn't price them out of the market. And that was really important for us as we were growing and stretching out for Republic to allow us to offer the same case one pricing across the board, because the little guy was paying the same price that the big guy was. And Specs didn't like it, and neither did Twin and some of the big boys, but at the end of the day, it's really allowed our company to grow and succeed,
So this is our kettle mixer. So on bottling day, we basically make an 80-gallon Bloody Buddy. That first day of bottling, it took us 14 hours to make 2 batches, which is a lot. Now we can do 2 batches in about 2.5 hours. And there was 14 people here that one day. Now there's 5.
Again, the learning curve.
Kind of see how we've grown and learned over time, but efficiency and just kind of learning. That's how we've done this. We've learned everything on our own.
So did you guys you make your own vodka?
Yes. Yeah, we make our own vodka.
Yeah, we buy a distillate, 190 proof distillate, and then you add Dripping Springs water. We have a filtering system here. I knew making the Bloody Buddy is going to be, a venture in its own self. So I figured, how can I cut back? What can I buy already?
Like Enchanted Rock, when they got started, they raised $7 million.
Whoa.
We raised $450,000. And so for us, we were on a shoestring budget. We didn't have $7 million.
That's crazy.
But we still had to make our dream come true. And I would put our vodka against anybody's out there, honestly.
We make our own vodka. We infuse with chili peppers.
What's your proof on?
It's 80 proof vodka.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a really clean.
Very, very clean.
Yeah. There's 2 different forms of filtration. We do a carbonic filtration, where we put a bunch of black carbon into a filter and just run it through constantly. And then the other way that we do it is a permeated filter, which is a series of sheets of paper, essentially, where it's going through finer and finer mesh and taking out all the particulates and all the flavorings. And that's really what smooths it down.
We just infuse this vodka. So in the Bloody Buddy, there's a mixture of infused vodka and there's a mixture of regular vodka to make it a certain.
Bring it back down.
Yeah, there's no machine. But yeah, so imagine if all the vodka in the Bloody Buddy was that, you'd be like,
Real hot. Smell the freshness of those hand-cut chili peppers.
What chilies do you use?
It's a proprietary blend.
Okay.
We do use some sun-dried peppers, and that's what gives it the kind of the
color.
browner color. But yeah,
it's spicy.
I love the nose.
And you want more.
we're talking about eventually releasing maybe a seasonal, where we do a hatch green chili and tomatillo Bloody Buddy.
That would be
A
amazing.
Verde version of the Bloody Buddy.
Oh my lord.
By the way, I want you guys to know you guys got me hooked up to Bloodies.
Oh, yeah? Oh, great.
Yeah, I always keep 2 bottles in the pantry, always.
That's awesome.
We go through it, but I always keep
Even the delivery man loves Bloody Buddy.
Fantastic.
That's wonderful.
really
Thank
good
you.
stuff.
Thank
You're welcome.
you.
I appreciate it.
You can't buy that advertisement. Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. No, we appreciate y'all coming out. Thanks.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Wait, stop. Anyway, if you like what I'm doing, subscribe to my Facebook, follow me on Instagram, throw me a pin on Pinterest if you can, and follow me.